And welcome again to the big match, and in particular today to our friends from the border television area who are joining us for this programme. Well, it's been a weekend notable for the number of goals that have been rattling home, and we've got a good selection for you today on the big match. Our main match is Chelsea against Carlisle United from the second division, a fine advertisement for open and attacking football, and goes some way towards answering the question, just what is the future for that young Chelsea side? And we have the views of their 18-year-old skipper Ray Wilkins, who is our studio guest today. We also have another free-scoring match in the second division, Blackburn Rovers against Oldham Athletic, and we're going to dip into the first division as well to pick up Leeds against Ipswich. Your letters, of course, and the moment at Tottenham last weekend when the camera deceived our eyes. But first it's away to Stamford Bridge, rather a mournful place last season as they slipped out of the first division and into the second. And the numbers of empty seats in that magnificent stand at Stamford Bridge bear witness to the fact that the locals are still waiting to see how things are going to work out now. Chelsea now meeting Carlisle, like themselves relegated last season. Chelsea with Kenny Swain at number 10 for the injured Bill Garner, and Ron Harris is now the substitute. Carlisle, meantime, are fielding the side that had lost by 3-0 to Fulham in midweek. 4 of the Chelsea side are teenagers, and one of them is the young fullback, John Sparrow, and here he is now, only 18 years old. Then there's Brian Basson, he's 19. Striker Teddy Maybank is also only 18. And as I say, skipper Ray Wilkins, also 18. And for Carlisle, most eyes focus on centre-half Bill Green, the man Spurs offered £165,000 for, but were turned down. The crowd, 19,000, referee A.R. Lees from Somerset.
So Carlisle kick off, attacking the goal to our left in yellow shirts with white shorts and red stockings. Chelsea in their all-blue strip with the white stockings. Two sides relegated from the first division. Both so far with just 1 point to show from their opening 2 games. Both very anxious to get well and truly off the ground in this new season. Butch Wilkins for Chelsea. Carlisle, of course, who came here in the opening day last season and surprised Chelsea with a 2-0 win. Dennis Martin on the ball for them now. Pitch looking in tremendous condition. Last week we were saying that the Tottenham pitch was arguably the best in London. I think this Stamford Bridge pitch matches that one. Bobby Parker for Carlisle. To the number 3, John Gorman. In fact, it was Kenny Swain coming back very quickly. Laidlaw trying to get in. Butch Wilkins, Mickey Droy. Well, there's a bit of confidence there as the ball reaches Charlie Cook on the far side. Ian Britton. Cook allowing the one to go through to Maybank, and it came back to him as well. Here's Wilkins again. Big job for him in the middle of the field this afternoon. A good ball, though, that finds his brother Graham Wilkins, and a bad one from him. Graham Wilkins, 21-year-old brother of the Chelsea skipper. Yes, I think that was a push by Droy. And a free kick to Carlisle. Ray Train with it. Parker. Well, that's another time the ball's been given away. Train making the most of that. O'Neill coming in well. Clark hopeful of getting a chance now. And Owen with the shot across the face of that Chelsea goal. First good-looking break there by Carlisle. Went all across that Chelsea penalty area. And Bobby Owen there with a shot that went across the face of the goal. Maybank trying to harass Green into an error. Ian Britton's throw for Chelsea. Swain. Into the path of Britain. Chelsea working up ahead of steam now. Wilkins with a good shot, and it has to be pushed over by Burley. Played nicely into his path, hit it well, and Burley tipped it over. First time really that Burley's been called into action, the goalkeeper that Carlisle bought in the summer from Darlington. Now he's got to face this corner from Charlie Cook, and it's a deep one. And headed behind, no nonsense there from Bobby Parker. Had a good spell with Coventry City, of course, Bobby Parker, but here's Martin Burley. Known to be something of a Muhammad Ali type, full of confidence. Didn't need it there because it was headed successfully away by Bill Green. Ray Train, and he's onside. Laidlaw played onside by Sparrow, in fact on the far side of the field. Laidlaw, oh, and it was stopped by his feet, and it's not away yet. Oh, and he grabbed it at the second time, Sherwood. Good decision there by linesman and referee, because Laidlaw was just onside, and some good reaction there by Steve Sherwood with the ball hitting his feet and he grabbing it at the second time. Swain, Cook, past his man. The referee delayed that whistle just a moment to see whether there was any advantage for Chelsea, and decided in the end that there wasn't, so he's given them the free kick. Cook with it. Floated deep to the far side. Droy had gone in there. That was a very good catch by Burley. Under a lot of pressure from the 6'4" Mickey Droy. Dempsey. Basson. Cook, Basson. Parker, handball given against him. Free kick to Chelsea. And again, they've pulled Mickey Droy forward for this one on the far side of the penalty area. Imagine they might be aiming for him. Graham Wilkins with the kick. Hit towards Maybank, in fact, and a good fist away by Burley. Let's see what sort of throw John Sparrow's got for Chelsea. Yes, again a good long one, and again it hit Droy, but he couldn't direct it the right way. Britain under pressure from O'Neill, but did very well indeed for Chelsea. Here's Sparrow again. Now, can he get through Owen? Yes, he can. Maybank's header! Well, that's brought Stamford Bridge to life at last. Crossed in beautifully there from the left, and a superb glancing header by Teddy Maybank beyond the reach of Burley into the back of the net. Chelsea 1, Carlisle 0. Parker now for Carlisle. So important for both these sides coming out of the First Division not to drift too far down into the second. That'll be a blow for Carlisle and could add to the confidence of this young Chelsea side. 4 teenagers in it, the fans loving it. Gorman. Train. Droy going in hard. Well, from my angle and from my distance, it looked as though he played the ball. Mr. Leeds from Street thought otherwise. He's given a free kick to Carlisle, and naturally wants the Chelsea wall back 10 yards. 2 men in it. Basson and Wilkins. Train hitting it to the far side. Charlie Cook getting his head to it, and now Britain with acres of space ahead of him, and Swain as well. Here's Ken Swain. A little bit of pace about him, and not a bad shot. that was bouncing awkwardly in front of Burley. Wilkins. Maybank. Basson. Well, that's determination for you. O'Neill. Laidlaw. Gorman. Martin coming up quickly from the midfield there. That's a dangerous looking cross. Well covered by Sparrow for Chelsea. Wilkins. Swain took that nicely on his body. And what a good pass there for Cook. And played on for Maybank. Onside, and has he got the pace? He's got Cook supporting him. Played for Charlie Cook. Well, that was an occasion when the youngsters did everything right. And the more experienced fellow couldn't quite capitalise on it. Lovely piece of running there for Chelsea. And some good thinking by Maybank, laying that into Cook's path. And Charlie not catching it properly at all. There's Cook again. Maybank onside. Linesman kept his flag down. Now can Maybank make this number 2? No, he can't. No, he can't. Well, he had something of an opening there, Teddy Maybank. First one charged down by the goalkeeper. Second one charged down by a Carlisle defender. Martin. Though this goal down all the time, Train, that looked like handball right behind the referee's back. All the time that Train and O'Neill go on fighting in the middle of the field the way they are, Carlisle always in with something of a chance. Well, a classic occasion where maybe the whistle went a little too early and the advantage should have been played. If there were to be a campaign that most people would like to run, it would be for greater advantage to be played by referees everywhere. Keeps the game moving that much more. But we had to stop it there. Laidlaw. Sparrow. Swain right in there. Will Maybank get to this one? Yes! Oh, and he hit the outside of the post. Well, Swain did well there. Got it across the face of that Carlisle goal. A terrible mistake by Green, not getting to it and being unaware that Maybank was behind him. Maybank hit it first time, but against the outside of the Carlisle post and away. Laidlaw. Owen. Glad the referee overruled the linesman there and allowed that to go on. That was a case of certainly playing the advantage. Basson. Linesman, of course, has to flag for everything he sees, and it's up to the referee as to whether he whistles or not, as the whistle goes for half-time. Not a bad first half, and a good one for Chelsea, made that way by the goal by the number 9, Teddy Maybank, after 27 minutes. Made for him by John Sparrow, the 17-year-old number 3. In fact, Maybank might well have had a hat-trick. There it is. A lot for Carlisle to do, and they're still fighting hard in midfield to try and do it. But a half-time score here at Stamford Bridge of Chelsea 1, Carlisle 0, and we'll be right back with the second half. Welcome back then to the start of the second half. Chelsea now attacking the goal to our left, 1-0 into the lead. Graham Wilkins Free kick very quickly taken there by Teddy Maybank. Good pass there from Butch Wilkins now for Basson. And a corner for Chelsea. There have been moments when the confidence in this young Chelsea side really has grown, and they've shown what a tremendous potential they've got. So now, can Chelsea do anything with this corner? Mickey Droy right in there again, Charlie Cook with it. And Dempsey's header getting in there. Maybank trying to make something of it. Looked to me like a handball there, in fact, in the middle of it all. And it's a free kick to Carlisle. And Clark, I think, saying that he wants to go off. And indeed, Clark is going off. And Carlisle are going to bring on their substitute, Mick Barry. A midfield player who can play forward as well. Frank Clark going off. And Mick Barry, who's been playing in America this summer with the Washington Diplomats. Played some 15 games in the First Division last season for them. Came from Huddersfield and not had too much luck with injuries. A throw to Carlisle. Laidlaw. Imploring cry of "Come on, Chelsea!" Laidlaw showing some nice, delicate skills there. Owen trying to play it back there. Oh, and just over the bar from Dennis Martin. Dangerous move that Carlisle have put in the whole time. Nice into passing there. Martin collecting it, but hitting it on the up and over the bar. Green was climbing all over Swain there. A free kick to Chelsea. Ray Wilkins. Spotting that Droy was up there, and it'll come through for Droy off Bobby Owen. Dink back again to Maybank! 2-0! That's what Teddy Maybank thinks of that second goal. With the free kick from Wilkins, clearing Bobby Owen and finding Mickey Droy, and a beautiful cross by Droy, and a fine angled header by that young teenage striker. Teddy Maybank makes it 2-0 for Chelsea. Chelsea 2, Carlisle 0. Both goals coming from the number 9, Teddy Maybank. That second one made by Mickey Droy. Now Barry for Carlisle. Give the Chelsea youngsters a bit of breathing space now, but here's Dennis Martin for Carlisle. Sparrow getting that one away. O'Neill. Well, it was by 2-0 that Carlisle beat Chelsea here on the opening day last season in the First Division. Chelsea have repaid the compliment at the moment with these 2 goals by Teddy Maybank. Barry. O'Neill. Carr will have to struggle for that one. Oh, and he caught Maybank there. And the Chelsea trainer got to run right round this field in order to get up with him. It's quite a clash there. Sparrow. So it's Chelsea for the moment down to 10 men. And Teddy Maybank in a fair bit of pain. Now it's with Martin for Carlisle. Chipped in again there towards Owen. He tries to hit it back for Barry. Tender right leg. for Gorman. Well, that was a rather rash challenge by Basson. And here's Martin. Good tackling back again, though, by Ray Wilkins. But a corner for Carlisle. Dennis Martin with it. Foul against Chelsea player by Peter Carr. Ray Wilkins with Basson outside him. Played for Charlie Cook. Back for Graham Wilkins. Basson hobbling that badly at the moment now. They've got Maybank already off the field, injured a moment ago. And Brian Basson hobbling very badly. In possession now. Obviously in some discomfort. Oh, but what a goal! Well, that's all of 28 yards. A really spectacular goal from Basson. Well, a moment ago, he was hobbling so badly, it looked as though he might have to go off. And then he unleashed that thunderbolt. Whack! Against the underside of the Carlisle crossbar. A superb goal. Chelsea 3, Carlisle 0. Brian Basson the scorer. And now here's Swain on his way. Until Gorman gets in to turn it back to Martin Burley. What a thunderbolt of a goal. Now Train. Carlisle by now, I would have thought, pretty demoralised. They offered a fair bit, particularly in the opening 20 minutes when they came forward with a lot of aggression and purpose. Oh, and there's a great goal! Oh my goodness, what a goal by Barry! Well, there we've had two thunderous goals in the space of 2 minutes. And if anything, the second one beat the first. Mick Barry catching that one on the volley, left-footed. And Sherwood stretched for all he could, but he couldn't reach it. Carlisle now back in the game. Chelsea 3, Carlisle 1. Well, that was absolutely remarkable. Two goals of such tremendous power in the space of a couple of minutes. Maybank on the field again. Barry. Dempsey getting that one away. Now Cook. And there's a beautiful ball from Cook now. Can Wilkins get there first? Oh! So close there to an own goal. And the goalkeeper doing remarkably well there. Eddie McCready up at the top left there in the dark glasses, who was in under so much pressure since he was made the manager of this club. Ron Stewart there with him and Ken Sheraton. Now Britton. Graham Wilkins to his brother Ray Wilkins, and a lovely floated ball there for Charlie Cook. What a beautiful ball there from Butch Wilkins. Into the path there of Sparrow, and it's just wide. But really excellent stuff again from Chelsea. A lovely ball from Butch Wilkins. Floated all of 40 yards to inch perfection, and then rolled by Charlie Cook into the path of John Sparrow. Britton to Dempsey. Maybank Played on for Britain. Graham Wilkins to Ray Wilkins. Teddy Maybank. Wilkins. Oh, a lovely dummy there by Ian Britton. Maybank. That's a good cross, drawing right in there. And Cook too. Well, Charlie Cook's shot was way off target. Surprise really there being how quickly Mickey Joy had gone up and not been spotted. John Sparrow. We're in injury time now, with Chelsea 3-1 into the lead. And a very encouraging first home game of the season for them. Carlisle's throw. Butch Wilkins doing well. Swain taking it on. Maybank is right up there with him. Going a long way, Swain, but couldn't get his shot in. And the final whistle goes. And a very good first home league game of the season for Chelsea, with this 3-1 victory. Teddy Maybank scoring 2 of the goals, and Brian Basson the other one. And Carlisle's being scored by their substitute Mick Barry. Chelsea with a lot of promise now in this young side. Played it short with a lot of grace and a lot of precision, and hit some beautiful long balls with great accuracy as well, with their confidence growing all the time. But the goal of the game surely went to Mick Barry with that great left foot volley. But it left it with a final scoreline here at Stamford Bridge that says Chelsea 3, Carlisle United 1.
Well, a performance that should bring out a few more Chelsea fans, I've no doubt, for their home game against Oxford on Wednesday. But now let's meet Ray Wilkins, at 18, the youngest captain in the Football League. I say Ray, a lot of people call you Butch. You're going to go a long way in the game. We're going to hear a lot about you. Now, what do we call you, Ray or Butch?
I'm not bothered. I think Ray do, yeah. Ray.
As I say, at 18, the youngest skipper, what experience of being a skipper have you had, Ray?
Well, I've captained the Chelsea reserve side on, I think, 4 occasions. The England youth side and Chelsea first team.
England youth and Chelsea first.
Yeah.
Is it an enjoyable experience?
Yeah, very enjoyable, yeah.
You don't find it in any way a burden on your performance?
No, not at all. No, I love it.
You love the responsibility?
Yeah, great.
I tell you, I was talking to Teddy Maybank in World of Sport yesterday, and I asked him how he felt about playing with a fella as 18-year-old as his skipper. This is what he said.
Respect him very much, although he's only 18, he's 35 in stature, you know, he's a brilliant captain. I mean, and we've known him since he was 14, so we couldn't really respect a player more. And as you see yourself, he's brilliant.
Do you In fact, I think you probably knew Teddy Maybank a bit before you were 14, because you were at Chelsea when you were 10, I think you were saying.
Yeah, 10 and a half, yeah.
How did that come about?
I was recommended by an apprentice called Tommy James, and he told Frank Blunston, and Frank asked us down.
And how many of the other Chelsea lads in the side at the moment were there at that sort of age?
John Sparrow, Brian Basson and Teddy
Maybank.
Yeah.
Who really are the big influences on your footballing life at the moment?
I think my mother and father and most of the Chelsea coaching staff.
Tell us about your mum and dad. Your dad, of course, was a professional with Brentford, wasn't he?
Yeah.
In what way does he influence you?
He has chats with us after we play. You know, he says what we done right and what we done wrong. And my mum, she has a go at us if we play bad. And
what sort of things does she say to you, though?
She just say we play bad and, you know, you should quicken yourself up and things like this.
And what do you say to her? Do you take any notice of that?
Just a bit, yeah, not too much.
Well, we were talking about Teddy Maybank. At least he said that he thought you were a very good skipper. But he also had a very good game yesterday, didn't he?
Yeah, tremendous, yeah.
What was the thing that pleased you most about him? Obviously the 2 goals, both headed, which we'll have a look at now, I suppose, would be one of the things. Tell us about this first of all, Ray.
Yeah, Johnny Sparrow goes down the left and hits in a right-footed cross.
That's his swinger, isn't it?
Yep. And Ted's there to whack it in. Nice goal.
Should say that John Sparrow is one of your special friends. In fact, he's come with you to the studio today.
Yeah.
Now, here you are for the second one. What were you going to do there?
I meant to hang it up for Mickey Joy's head, but the fella's come too far forward and he left Mick with a lot of space. He swings it to the far post and Teddy's there again.
It was a very delicate little chip from Mickey Joy, wasn't it?
Yeah, very nice, yeah.
What pleased you most about Chelsea yesterday?
I think everybody was working for each other. You know, last season, occasionally this wasn't happening. And yesterday it was, and everybody was enjoying themselves.
What have you done to make that possible, do you think, Ray?
I've no idea. No idea.
But you G them up on the field a good deal?
Yeah, quite a bit, yeah.
Do you find it difficult G'ing up somebody, for example, as experienced as Charlie Cook? I know Charlie's a good pro, but I mean, do you nonetheless find it difficult?
Not really, no. He responds well, Charlie, and he encourages the young players.
What about your interests away from the game?
I like the occasional game of golf with my brother, and I like watching the telly a bit, but other than that, nothing much.
Do you go out with the lads at all, the young fellas in the side?
Yeah, occasionally, yeah.
Your brother?
Very rare occasion, that.
Why is that?
Because he's caught and he's got a
girlfriend.
Yeah.
And you haven't?
No, I haven't, no.
As I said earlier on, that this programme goes to Carlisle, to Border Television, and we really ought to look at them as well. What did you feel about the Carlisle performance yesterday?
I thought first half they played very well, coming forward on every occasion they had. And but second half, Ray Train got injured, and I think that affected their performance.
Yeah, because he'd worked so very hard in the middle of the field, hadn't he?
Yeah.
I think you would concede, although Brian Basson got a tremendous goal for you, which we're going to see later on in the programme, that they probably also scored the best goal of the game, this left-foot volley from Mick Barry, their substitute.
Yeah,
what about this as you look at it again? What about that, Ray?
I thought he was much closer than he actually is, because that's fully 30 yards. Though.
Must be. Would you say that's a candidate for golden goals going in there?
Without a doubt, yeah. I said yesterday, must be one of the goals of the season.
Yeah, an absolute beauty.
Yeah, fantastic.
Let's just finish on Chelsea. You've got the game coming up against Oxford on Wednesday. The bookmakers made you 4-1 favourites to go back into the First Division at the start of the season. Was that realistic, do you think?
I don't know, really. I don't think so. I don't think you can tell whether a side's going to go up to the First Division. But we're all feeling very confident now, and I'm sure if we can play as we did yesterday, then we've got a very good chance.
And you've got players to come back, like David Hay and Bill
right.
Garner, Gary Locke, for example.
David will be back pretty soon, and we're looking forward to it.
Happier days at the bridge.
Right, yeah.
Ray Wilkins, thank you very much for coming in today.
Thanks very much.
Thank you, Ray. Well, our second match today is from the First Division. Leeds against Ipswich at Elland Road. Leeds have made a good start, 3 points out of 4. Ipswich, who many believe will be title chasers, have started badly, 1 point out of 4. Now this meeting at Leeds, covered by Yorkshire Television, the commentators Keith Macklin. Leeds are in the white strip, and we join this game in the second half.
Clark, free kick as Burley tackles Clark. That was quickly taken to Lorimer, has a view of goal and tries the shot. It's there! Cooper, and history repeats itself. As we move into second half, Lorimer looked up, saw that he had time to shoot, and that shot from all of 35 yards deceived Cooper by its pace and its power. Mackenzie getting away from that hustle of Ipswich players. Clark now to take up the running. To Eddie Gray. Good move. Eddie Gray didn't quite catch it right. He tried to side foot it past Cooper and pretty well hit it straight at him. Good save by Cooper. Good move. Ipswich wanting to make their substitution. Looks as if Trevor Wymark's going to come off for Osborne. Attention for Frank Gray on the touchline as Wymark moves off and Osborne moves on. All time consuming, and Ipswich cannot afford it. Mr. Wallace making a note of the substitution. Osborne is in action almost immediately, but with 3 Leeds players around him, there's not a lot he can do. Burley. Banged away by Cherry.
Beattie. Bill Jones across the park to Mills. Shot! Ooh, what a good shot by Mills. Harvey flying across his goal. Splendid shot by Mick Mills. David Harvey racing across the goal and diving, but it was wide. Ipswich nevertheless going forward with Beattie. Johnson is there for it. Burley finding Johnson. Back goes Eddie Gray. Johnson keeps it in. Now Gray's away. Past Burley, who put out an arm. There are a lot of men on the right to spare. Lorimer's charging. There's Clark's pass. What a shot! And a good save by Cooper. Nearly knocked him off his feet, but he took it well. Lorimer joining in the applause for a tremendous save by Cooper. And I think for a good ball to him from Clark.
1-0 for Leeds, and now it's time for your letters. And last week at Tottenham we had the case of the ball that was too soft and had to be changed, and I suggested then that there'd been a change in the ruling about ball pressures and that we'd investigate it. In fact, David Fitzwilliam of 48 Compton Road, Hayes in Middlesex, and Richard Sawyer of 38 Tile Kiln Crescent, Hemel Hempstead in Hertfordshire wrote to me about it. You'll see here how the referee, Roger Kirkpatrick, tested the ball soon after the start and eventually decided that it was too soft. You can see his fingers going in there, in fact, and that a change would be necessary. In fact, it was on the request of the players, I think, that this change was made. Another ball comes out, he tests the two, but in fact, I can tell you that wasn't exactly the end of the story. Decides on the one, we get the famous Kirkpatrick run. And in fact, he's right, there had been a change of rule. The background to it, in fact, was that in 1966, when leather balls were used, they used to stretch that much and reduce the pressure by about a third by half-time. And the new balls, using synthetic materials that they use these days, don't stretch, hence they've remained too hard throughout the whole 90 minutes, dangerous to head, difficult to control and so on. So the pressure this season has been reduced from 15 pounds per square inch to between 9 and 10.5 pounds per square inch, and the one at Tottenham was nonetheless too soft. As I say, the players complained. Referee Roger Kirkpatrick used the unwritten rule of common sense to call representatives from both clubs into his room at half-time to let them choose the ball they wanted. Well, also at Tottenham last Saturday, this happened, and I'd like you to take another look at it for yourself. Middlesbrough on the attack. Here's David Mills. John Craggs comes in and floats a ball into the far side for David Armstrong, who gets in a very good header indeed. But what happens there? Now, well, in all honesty, and I said so during the commentary, I thought the ball had hit the post. And a much aggrieved Pat Jennings informed me this week that in fact he'd scooped the ball out without it hitting the post, a view confirmed by Ray Williamson of 38 Cornwallis Avenue in Edmonton and F. Humphreys of 208 Sandringham Flats, London, WC2. So, let's look again. There's David Armstrong jumping for this ball. And Pat Jennings scooping the ball out without the ball hitting the post. Well, you can see how we were fooled, but I must say I'm glad to offer my apologies to that fine goalkeeper, Pat Jennings. More letters next week, but now it's time for some more goal action from the second division. Yesterday at Ewood Park, newly promoted Blackburn Rovers were at home to Oldham Athletic. More good entertainment picked up for us by Granada's cameras, the commentators Gerald Sinstadt, and Blackburn here are in the blue and white shirts.
Heaton. Beamish. 5 men forward now for Blackburn. Martin on a run into the area and a good pass for him. Couldn't take it with him, but he's pulled it back across. And Oldham scramble it away, but they are beginning to be under pressure in their own area. And their clearances are not all decisive and clean-cut. Groves. Blair calling for one on the far side of the area, and there he was, almost met it. Good move, well worked by Oldham. Groves holding the ball, realising that Blair was there, and almost got him stealing in on the blind side. Ronnie Blair. Parks to Fazakerley. Blair. Zachary. Groves. On nicely for Blair, who's onside. The defence had stopped and Blair has scored. Made out of nothing by Oldham. Nice bit of running by Blair. Groves timed the pass well as Blair ran onto it. The defence checked momentarily, looking to the linesman, and that was fatal as Blair ran on and slipped it into the corner, wide of Jones. Bergin not finding Hickman. Parks. Out into the space for Heaton. It's a nicely controlled cross, headed away by Wood. Metcalf for Blackburn. And into the tackle goes Chapman. Bergin's throw in to Martin. Bergin staying up to support him, but Martin can manage on his own. Shaping up for a little chip across. Header, and it's very easy for Beamish. Made by Martin. The ball slipped along the line to him by Bergin. Bergin stayed up as Martin looked for a way out. Eventually wriggled through right on the byline. Made a few yards. Played a very delicate little chip. And Beamish unmarked with a 1-yard header to level the scores. Martin on to Beamish, a little bit luckily, but they're making the most of it. Martin still. Header away by Bell. Hawkins. Metcalf. Heaton. Off the top of Hicks' head, pulled across by Parks. Martin! It all started from the jump by Hicks that didn't really clear the ball. It went out to the left, and it was just a nice, easy turn across for Parks. And Martin finished it off with a good low shot. And Blackburn now lead 2-1. Oates for Hickman to chase. Wood going to challenge him and fouling him surely. This time the challenge altogether. Bergin has taken the kick up to Martin. Hicks clears into touch. Bergin will take the throw. Good turn by Martin. Looked as though he might have been pulled back then, and the referee has given the penalty. Good decision by the referee. Martin was wriggling round Wood, and the referee had no hesitation at all. And here is a chance now for Oldham to make it 3-1. Stuart Metcalf will take the kick. And Metcalf scores, sends the goalkeeper the wrong way, and that's 3-1. Well taken free kick. Ogden crouching, deciding to go left, and the ball is blasted to his other side. Bergin is going to take the throw, and Chapman gets in before it can reach Martin, but only at the expense of a third throw-in. And this time it finds Martin. Got a lucky rebound there, lost it at the second attempt. Hickman down, back it comes to Heaton. Hickman again under it, goalkeeper has to punch, nodded first time by Martin, but wide. Ogden beginning to feel he's had a busy afternoon. Parks header, Martin. Wood gets the throw. Robbins. McVitie beaten. Martin. Beamish. Can he get away from Whittle? And here's now Parks, 4-1. The tackling just not good enough. Ball slipped across the edge of the penalty area. The tackles really were not effective enough. And suddenly, Tony Parks was left clear, and all he had to do was loft it over Ogden to make it 4-1. And Blackburn's control is now complete.
So another 5 goals for you, and really a very encouraging back into the second division for Blackburn Rovers. Well, we've got about 30 seconds or so in hand. Let's come back to Ray Wilkins, the young skipper of Chelsea. What did you think of Blackburn? You're obviously going to play them. The few fleeting glimpses you saw of them there.
Yeah, they looked very good up the front. You know, got some very nice goals there.
Ken Beamish, of course, who all the Brighton fans will remember, looked very sharp indeed. It's very early days, but who do you think the second division clubs might be that will pressurise Chelsea most of all this season?
I thought at the start of the season it'd be Sunderland and West Bromwich, but obviously there's going to be quite a few other sides.
Does that mean you don't think so much of Sunderland and West Bromwich now?
Not so much, not after playing against them.
No, Sunderland, of course you played against Sunderland.
Yeah, they beat us, yeah, 2-1.
And they lost heavily in Bristol in midweek as well. I'm interested in Fulham, because you played them in the Anglo-Scottish, and they're top of the table for what that means at the moment.
Yeah.
What did you feel about Fulham?
Very well balanced side, Fulham. I think Bobby Moore and Alan Mullery have steadying influences on the side, and I think they do well this year.
Be quite a clash when you meet them.
Yeah, right.
Which I think is at Craven Cottage next month sometime, isn't it? Full house there. Ray, thanks very much indeed. Well, that is it, except, of course, for the next entry to be made in our big match autograph book. And indeed, if you weren't with us last week, you know that we're keeping this throughout the season, getting our guests to sign it so that we can make it a competition prize a bit later on in the season. Well, last week we got the Spurs striker, Martin Chivers, to sign it for us. And now, of course, it's the job of Ray Wilkins to do likewise. He sprinted around the studio, got into position nicely as usual. Best wishes. And this is going to obviously be a very valuable prize at the end of the season. Ray Wilkins, the young Chelsea skipper, who takes notice of what his mum says. That's it. Thanks a lot, Ray. Don't forget, On the Ball next Saturday lunchtime in World of Sport, and the big match, of course, next Sunday afternoon at 2:15, when we shall have an action from another 3 games for you to enjoy. Well, everyone these days, of course, is clamouring for goals and for entertainment, and why not? We had both at Chelsea yesterday, including, I think, 2 of the hardest hit shots you're likely to see all season. See them again now, and the view that the goalkeeper had, or indeed didn't have, of the second one.
Brian Basson hobbling very badly, in possession now. Obviously in some discomfort. Oh, but what a goal! Oh, and there's a great goal! Oh, my goodness, what a